So it's good to see you all on here. I wanted to start this call out with some mindset. Um, I think it's good. I was trying to think like for the past 7 years, I've been really consistent with my movement, which is good. But I was trying to think like it wasn't always the way. I was never that consistent with my movement before. So I was trying to think like what helped me to get to where I am today. Um, and really, it really came down to mindset. Um, I'm very much an introvert for some of you who have not met me. I'm very much an introvert. I don't like going to the gym. They always, even to this day, even though I am a personal trainer and I know what I'm doing, going to the gym makes me very, very uncomfortable because I feel like I'm being judged left and right. And um, so I will work out in my garage. And if I have to go to the gym, I will procrastinate. And so I was just trying to think like I had to do a lot of it like on my own. I had to push myself. I had to hold myself accountable. I didn't have a community like this to kind of help me stay accountable. And so I really had to work on mindset a lot. And so I thought, well, maybe with these movement calls, we can start with a little bit of a mindset piece that maybe will help you ladies as you go through your movement. And then the last half of the call, we can talk about some movement. So this first part for the mindset piece, there was something that I came across that said, the things you want to accomplish won't happen unless you take responsibility for your own actions and hold yourself accountable, which is huge. And while we have this community and the community is here for you and accountability, please use it. And this is actually kind of perfect because I think next Sunday, Coach Christy is going to be talking about accountability and the ability tools that you have inside of Fitme that you can use. Like I was thinking today, at least 6 tools inside of Fitme that you can use. Now, tools are great, but there are some days where you need to hold yourself accountable and you need to take responsibility for your actions because in the end, only you are the only one who is responsible for your outcome, right? If you're not hitting your movement goals, I mean, yes, life happens. There are some things that is okay. But if we're looking at like our everyday, like I'm not getting my movement in, I'm not seeing the results that I'm wanting, it's really a time for you to take a step back and ask yourself truly, am I doing the work? So I just wanted to take a few minutes just with this first part and ask you ladies, like, are you feeling good with you taking responsibility with your actions? Or are you kind of like, I'm really not taking responsibility for my actions. I'm not holding myself accountable, So how are you with this particular area? I know it's kind of a tough topic.
I know it's not tough. You cut out there for a second. I don't know if it was you or my Wi-Fi, but it's tough for me to get movement. I can eat right all day long, all week long. Yesterday was not a good day. We won't use that as an example. But generally I can eat well and I still have issues hitting my calorie goal, but that is what it is. But I definitely have trouble with movement. I always want to wait till I'm motivated, and I know I can't do that. So,
and I think we talked a little bit about that last week of waiting for motivation. It'll never come, or it'll come every so often. You'll have motivation to do it. And again, that's just coming out, that will come with time, and consistency.
Go ahead. Yeah. I just need to get into a habit and
it does come down to getting into a habit, but again, it's that habit will take time because action first will then create that habit. Right. So, but I love seeing your plates. You're right. You're really good with nutrition. Your plates on Facebook have been looking amazing. So great job on that. I kind of wish that I was that way with nutrition. I'm great with workout. Like I can have no problems with getting my movement in. Nutrition, on the other hand, is a challenge. So I kind of envy those who have the nutrition side down. Like, I feel like that's the hardest part.
I wish I was better with the workout part.
Okay, so how about this? I'll give you a little bit of my superpower in movement, and you give me a little bit of your superpower in nutrition, and we'll be good.
There we go. We'll just share.
Sure. Oh, it'll come, Julie. It'll come. And the more you do it, the easier it'll become. And you're not alone with this feeling of like waiting for motivation. You're not alone. Consistency.
Well, that 10 pounds I just lost was pretty good motivation.
Yeah.
It's taken 3 months, but hey, at least that's 10 pounds I don't have anymore.
Exactly. 10 pounds is amazing. That's a great start. Good job. Who else?
Yeah, I was going to say, so I worked with Christy back in 2018. And I remember back then, she and I would argue every time about movement. And she was like, are you getting a movement in? And I was like, I hate it. I hate movement. I don't have time. There was just no time in my life to get movement. And I literally was like a little kid, like digging my heels in. And now, fast forward a couple of years and I kind of came back to Fitme and I found something that I really enjoyed. And my life is busier than it was then, but I have managed to be able to sort of develop that habit and find a way to fit it in. And I do think it comes down to like finding something that is enjoyable or that, because that was hard for me to find. And because I'm like you, Sam, I don't like going to the gym. I hate going to the gym. And so finding something I could do at home that was enjoyable took a while. And so I do think that has been a really big thing for me. And so now I enjoy movement and I miss it when I don't get it. But, I've had 3 weeks off as well. And so it's a little hard to get back into, but trying.
So what was it for you? Like, what did you find your joy in? Like, what movement brings you joy?
During the pandemic, I did what a lot of people did, and I bought a exercise bike. And my husband laughed at me. And so actually, it started out as wanting to prove him wrong. So he laughed at me and was like, it's just going to end up being a clothes rack. And I said, I'm going to prove you wrong. And so I just one day, months, and then I got on the bike and I just really enjoyed the classes. And I started small as well. I think that's the other thing. I think I had this mentality that to get a good workout in, it had to be an hour or more. And I think I had to shift away from that mentality because I just didn't have the time for that. So I started with 20-minute workouts, and it was just 20 minutes and it just was easy and it was quick and I could do it. And then I started adding the strength stuff in.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think we were talking about that in the April movement group on Marco Polo I forget who it was, but we were talking about trying to get 10,000 steps in or 8,000 steps or 5, whatever your goal is. But even that seemed a little bit too much for somebody. And so we were like, then do 10 minutes or do 5 minutes, like do something. Like if that's your minimum, that's totally okay. If you can do more, great, do more. But if 5 to 10 minutes is all you got to give, then that's perfect. At least it's creating that habit and you're starting it.
Right. And I think once you start, then you start enjoying it, right? And the endorphins kick in, and then you're like, I'm just going to do 5 more minutes. I'm just going to push it a little more and push it a little more because you start to like reap the benefits of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. For me, when I first started out, I didn't enjoy movement. I was curious about strength training, but I did not have the confidence going into like a gym or even picking up weight at home. I was really unsure of my movement because I wasn't a trainer at that time. But what kept me motivated was I played co-ed softball. And so I'm very athletic and I'm very competitive. So I wanted to be like the best in the outfield. I wanted to be the fastest on the team. And so that was my motivation to keep going. So I found joy in like plyometric type workouts or high intensity training interval, high hit workouts. high interval intensity training. And so those type of workouts is what I enjoy now, not so much. Like I have no desire to be fast right now. I have no desire to, like, that was a goal from when I was in my late 20s, early 30s. Now I'm like, I just want to be strong and be able to move well and stay on my horse and not get bucked off. Like, that's my goal. So, but I'm curious, I'd like to hear from a couple of others, like, what are your thoughts around like movement? Are you like still struggling with it, with the mindset piece, or are you feeling good about it?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to unmute myself. So it took me a while to figure that out. I don't do Zoom calls that often.
Oh, that's okay, Tia.
Well, what's interesting is Coach Leah talked with me about this, about my mindset about walking. Because once I'm out the door walking, I love walking, but it's all the excuses and procrastination I do to not go out the door. And my therapist that I was talking about asked me the same question. She said, well, how much do you love walking when you're out there? I said, oh, I love it. I love walking. And she said, well, how much do you think this is great for your dog? Oh, it's great. I love it. And she said, how long does it take you to, when you, hi, this is my grandson. I met my dog house. So this is, here, see, there he is. Hey, Leah. And I said, well, it's just a couple minutes to get out the door. And now I got to walk into another room. It's just a couple minutes to get out the door. And so she said, do you realize that what you're saying is for 2 minutes of kind of pain to get out the door, you're willing to give up 30 minutes that you love because you can't handle the 2 minutes at the beginning?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, when you put it like that, it does kind of sound ridiculous. So that's kind of how I'm trying to change it, so that I get out the door.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing, is getting out the door.
Yeah, I love that perspective. Just putting it in that perspective just kind of gave me an aha moment. Like, how much, like, even, I know I'm going to enjoy my workout. I know I'm not going to regret it. I mean, do we ever regret a workout after we do it? No, we usually feel good about it. But you're right. It is that 2 minutes of putting your shoes on, getting the dog and getting out the door, or, getting dressed in your workout clothes, putting on your shoes and walking out the door. Like, it doesn't take that long, but we make it feel long because we sit there and we think about it and we sit and dread about it. And we're like, I don't want to do it. And we dig our heels in. And so, yeah, it's going to feel like it's taking forever because we're making it take forever. So I love that perspective. I want to think about that now. Like, 2 minutes of pain, of uncomfortable, not wanting to do it, or 30 minutes of joy of being out working out. Like, I love that.
Well, when she said that to me, I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, I just cannot believe that I'm allowing myself to not do something great because for 2 minutes I'm grumpy. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And I always say, like, it's not our body that we have to convince, it's our mind. For everything that we want to do, that we dig our heels in, we have to convince our mind to do it. And it's just, our brains are just crazy things. Crazy. Thanks for sharing, Tio. I love that. I really do. I like want to like post that somewhere, like in my house. 2 minutes of pain versus 30 minutes of joy.
It sticks in my mind every time I'm sitting watching TV and I know I should be out walking my dog. I think about that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it makes me get up and go get the leash and just get my foot out the door.
Good. And you've been doing great. I know you said you weren't tracking in your app, but you're doing awesome with your movement. And even like with the Tori exercises, you're doing 10 minutes and that's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I keep telling myself, at least I'm doing them.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I used to not do them, but at least I'm doing them now. So I know in the future I'll do more. So.
Exactly. Baby steps. You're working your way up to the full program, which is awesome. Proud of you, ladies. You guys are doing awesome. Okay, I want to shift really quick over into the movement aspect. I know we were talking about movement mindset part, but I wanted to talk about cardio versus strength training. So I know a lot of you are still doing the Tory exercises, which is completely fine. As you transition out of Tory exercises, you'll be going into strength training. Now, depending on where you're at, depends on the type of program that you'll receive with strength training. But there may be a program where you get both strength and cardio. So I'm curious, just kind of a pop quiz. Do we do strength before cardio or cardio before strength? And why? Do we know? Anyone want to take a guess?
Is it cardio before strength? So you can warm yourself up a little bit? That's how I do it anyway.
Strength before cardio.
You could, but
I was
wouldn't
going to
recommend
say
it as a
strength
warm-up piece.
before cardio. Because
Strength before
I would
cardio.
think if you did cardio, well, for me, if I did cardio before strength, I wouldn't have the strength to do the strength. I'd be wiped
Right.
out.
Yeah.
So that would be my guess.
Well, you're on the right track, Terry. And Virginia, you are too, in a sense, not necessarily for the warm-up piece, like cardio. Warm-up should be its own thing. Strength is its own thing, then your cardio is its own thing. Now, it was a trick question because really the answer is it depends. You can actually do cardio before strength and strength before cardio, but it depends on what your goal is. So the majority of us here, we're looking for building muscle and fat loss, right? That's pretty much all of our goal. And so at least with inside Fitme. And so you're going to see strength first and then cardio for the exact reason that Terry said. If you are looking to build strength and muscle, you're going to want to hit that first, because if you do cardio first, your form is going to probably not be the greatest after cardio, and you may not be able to lift as heavy because you've depleted your muscles of what we call glycogen. So that energy that is built up in our muscle will be depleted if we do our cardio first, therefore kind of limiting our strength and our strength training, right? So when would you do cardio first before strength training? If you're an individual who is looking for endurance, if you're an endurance athlete and you're looking to build stamina, you're going to do your cardio first because your endurance and your cardio is your main focus. That is your goal you're working towards. And then strength may not be your goal. And so that's going to come after. So it's okay if it's not, if you're not going as heavy, or, you know, you're going a lighter weight so you don't, your form doesn't fail, then that's okay. So it'd be cardio and then strength. But like I said, for the majority of us, we are looking for muscle tone and fat loss. So we're going to prioritize strength first, and then we're going to follow up with a cardio session. Does that make sense? So it was just kind of a fun little, I've been seeing a lot of questions come through, not necessarily in Fitme, but in other Instagram trainers that I follow. A lot of their clients were asking, do I train cardio first or after strength training? And I'm like, that's a kind of a good question, because it really just depends on what your goal is. So does anyone have any questions regarding that? Kind of straightforward, but if you have any questions, let me know.
No, but could Liz mute herself?
Oh,
I'm
is
sorry.
that where it's coming from? Hold on. Oh, I can't do it. Liz, are you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry. Can you hear me? Hi.
Yeah, I can
I'm
hear
meal
you.
prepping. I'm meal prepping at the same time. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. What are you meal prepping?
I put some chicken legs, lemon pepper chicken legs, and then some chicken thighs. I have turkey with vegetables and a red sauce for, I'm not sure how, either I'm going to put it with like a spaghetti or something, or put it with broccoli and like just the meat sauce with broccoli and sweet potatoes. So
that sounds really good.
I was busy yesterday and I didn't get a chance to do my meal prepping. And so I didn't go to work. I have not gone to work out, and I don't know if I'm going to go today, but if the weather stays well, I can actually go out and practice my jump roping
Nice.
for a little bit, you know. I'm just trying to get the meal prep so that way the rest of the week isn't crazy, because this morning I was like, what am I going to eat? And because I didn't do anything for this morning, since we had a busy weekend.
Yeah.
So.
No, good job. Yeah, sometimes you gotta kind of sacrifice some things for other things. So if you're sacrificing your movement today for meal prepping, that's totally okay.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed, but I know that I had to do it, because if I plan on going to work out this week, it makes it a lot easier when I can come home from workout and actually have food to eat that is ready to go. So, yeah, last week as I finally went back into the gym, and so I did 5 days. I was so proud of myself, and I'm like, I'm going to continue doing this. I did not want to go on Friday, and I was coming up with all the excuses in my head, and I said, thankfully that I got up and I put my workout bra on, and so basically I just had to change, you know, my pants and my top, because that's like one of the hardest things. Like, I don't want to take that, you know, put that thing on. So if I start off with that, I'm like basically already ready.
That's awesome. I love that.
But I was proud of myself last week, and I did really well. And my food, I had food prepped, so it wasn't a bad deal. But this week, we did some family event. We did like some shooting training, and it took like 5 hours, and then took our kids out for breakfast, and we had dinner, because it was basically a whole day's event. We're getting into educating ourselves on using a gun and stuff like that. And so we did it as a family, and I didn't want to say, okay, you guys, I got to go and meal prep, you know, because it was a family day.
Right.
So, but now today I'm doing all the meal prepping, so that way I'm still good. I'm going to do something. I have to do the meal prepping.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I love that. And I love that you got to spend some time with your family. Like, family time is super important. So, and you're able to do your meal prep today and still keep with your workout goals for this week. 5 days of workout. That's awesome. How is your soreness level after 5 days?
Oh, well, during the week, it was rough, because like I said, I hadn't really done anything. And so I did this in January, and I gave myself, like I said, okay, I'm going to give myself that I at least get into the gym 3 days a week. And I'm more of like a check off box. So once I hit those 3 days, I was like, yeah, I don't have to do anything else, you know? And I recognized that. So this time I said to myself, if you can get there, you get there. No excuses. And I didn't give myself a cutoff time. It was really, so I just kept going. I just kept showing up, and I scaled as fuck, but I was showing up and I was moving, just getting my body to remember what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So it was sore, but yesterday, like I said, yesterday we went shooting, and so we practiced shooting and stuff like that, but it wasn't, I mean, it's not like an exercise, but I felt like I was pretty tense. Just doing it, because I've never shot before, and just having that in my hand, just nervous all along. Like, I don't want to be that one crazy person that's
no, it's a lot on the shoulder. Like, I'm assuming it was pistol.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a lot on the shoulder, biceps, like forearms, having to hold it, hands, like it's a lot.
I was very nervous, but because you hear about all these accidents, but at the same time, I need to educate myself with today's society and how things are moving along. I need to be able to know how to use my husband's toys in case in event of an emergency, you know? And so there should be no reason. I just need to get out of that uncomfort zone, just like everything else. And it's just learning how to do it. But yeah, so we did that, and I didn't do anything else after that, but I will the rest of this week. Like I said, I'll probably get out there and try and do some practice my jump roping because I'm not really good.
No, that's good. I love your plan. Like, thank you for sharing. Like, I love your whole thought process through this from January until now, how your mindset has shifted, how you became aware of, like, you were saying, oh, 3's enough and I don't have to do anything else. But if you have the time, why not? And you recognize that, and you didn't give yourself like a cutoff time. You're like, I'm just going to do this. Like, all of it really, really good. And yes, even with whether it's like learning how to use a firearm or workout or whatever, anything that makes us uncomfortable, the more that we do it, the more comfortable we'll become. Getting used to being uncomfortable takes practice. The more you do it, kind of easier it becomes. So all of it, I'm super proud of you this week. You have done amazing, Liz.
Thank you.
Well, awesome, ladies. This was kind of a fun talk. Thanks for joining me tonight. It is 5:30 now. Time has flown. 5:30 Mountain Time. So thanks for joining me. I hope you ladies have a good week. Also, if you have not heard yet, FYI, April 15th, which is this Friday, Coach Christy is going to be opening up early bird pricing for our Fitme event that is happening in September. If you did not hear on the Sunday call, September 16th through the 18th is our Fitme event that's happening in Seattle, Washington. And so tickets will be on sale April 15th. You will get early bird pricing. I don't know the price, so I can't get you in on that secret. She will have like monthly payment options though. So if you can't pay all at once, she does have the ability to do monthly payments. What else? I said it was in Seattle. It will be limited on tickets. So if you know you can go that weekend, you for sure want to go, then make sure you look out for that email so you can jump on and get those tickets. So all the other details as far as like housing and all that stuff will be in the email as well. So, alrighty.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thanks for hopping on, and I hope you ladies have a great week. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
Bye,
Good to
ladies.
see everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.